Good afternoon. Hope everyone is staying safe. Thank you in advance for listening to my speech. How many of you are annoyed with not being able to go to parties, school, your friend's house, a restaurant, or even work? Did coronavirus interrupt something major in your life? Do you guys miss not seeing your friends? Are you guys not hanging out as much to prevent the spread of the virus? Who does not enjoy having to wear one of these every time they leave their house? Today, I am going to inform you about the importance of wearing a mask during the coronavirus pandemic. Wearing a face covering is a key role to prevent the spread of this virus. A face covering could be a bandana, a sleeve, a simple cloth mask, or N95 mask, or anything really that covers your nose and your mouth. Considering your nose and your mouth, exhale and inhale various particles in the air. Some particles can quite possibly be coronavirus particles. According to the Journal of the American Medical Association, the CDC Director Dr. Robert R. Redfield stated cloth face coverings, like the one I have right here, are the most powerful weapons we have to slow and stop the spread of this virus. All Americans have a responsibility to protect themselves, their families, their communities. We have to protect one another in order to stop this virus. We could stop this virus and slow down the spread in the 4 to 6 week period if everyone wears a mask. So please, when you head out, wear a mask. It could slow down this virus if each and every one of us puts on one of these. And besides wearing a mask, many of us have been hearing about social distancing, proper hand washing, and just easily wearing a face covering. But besides from all of wearing a face covering, social distancing reduces the risk of transmitting the virus by 90%. According to Bloomberg and William Rispant, professors at UC Davis, they did a study about social distancing and wearing a mask. As said earlier, social distancing reduces the risk of the virus by 90%, while wearing a mask decreases the risk of transmitting the virus by 65%. Think about that. There's a 65% chance by simply wearing a face mask that you will not get the virus, which is really good considering the virus travels so easily and can travel so far at times and even through AC vents, which is extremely important. Because when you're enclosed and you don't know who's in the other room next to you or anything, when you have a mask on, you won't be able to inhale those germs that are in the air. According to Texas A&M University, the epicenters such as China, Italy, and New York City, they had government mandates in order saying that you must wear a mask. And researchers found that using a face mask, like the ones I showed earlier, reduced number of infections by more than 78,000 in Italy from April 6th through May 9th. So in little over a month, 78,000 plus lives were saved in Italy from wearing a simple mask. In New York City, at the time, that was the epicenter of the United States, with cases rising, hospitals overflowing, many people dying. Hospitals don't know what to do. They were brand new to this virus. They weren't sure what the virus was all about or anything. They had over 66,000 people saved in New York from April 17th through May 9th, so little under a month, thanks to wearing a simple mask. Wearing that mask or face covering saved over 100,000 lives in New York and Italy alone, which is amazing. And those people did everything correctly by wearing the face mask. As now New York starts to slow down from getting the virus and Italy starts slowing down from getting the virus, they still have their face mask on to protect themselves because they do not want a repeat of becoming the epicenter. So now, as Florida approaches higher numbers than New York did and all these other places, Floridians need to put on a mask. It's crucial that Floridians wear a mask because we do not want to end up being the next New York or Italy or China. We want to have our numbers decreasing and not increasing. Also, when you were inside, put on a mask. because in Missouri there was a hair salon where 2 people were affected with the virus, but they didn't know they had the virus at the time. They were asymptomatic. Asymptomatic meaning they had no symptoms of the coronavirus. So they woke up, went to work, cut people's hair, styled people's hair, and acted like it was all normal. But then somebody started getting symptoms of the virus, and then they realized they tested positive for coronavirus, and then another person tested positive for the virus, which isn't good. But those customers had a mandatory order to put on a mask. In order to be sat in the salon, you had to wear a mask. And that simple mask saved so many lives, because those 2 people had the virus, but everybody else in the salon that went for appointments did not get the virus at all. According to the Center for Disease Control, a COVID-19 prevention occurred in a Missouri hair salon. Customers were asked whether they had been ill with respiratory symptoms or any symptoms of the coronavirus within the 90-day period of their appointment. 87 people reported that they had no symptoms at all, even though they were exposed to the virus. For example, you could have been cutting my hair, you could have had the virus, but you had a mask on. So you saved me from getting the virus, and you saved yourself from spreading the virus to other clients. None of the interviewed customers, they were lucky. None of them had anything about corona. And then among the 67 customers who volunteered to be tested, all 67 tested negative. Think about that. All 67 who volunteered to be tested were negative. Well, there was 2 people inside the building that tested positive. So those people are extremely lucky. Talking about the importance of wearing a mask is a major thing because it prevents the virus. It may seem like an inconvenience, but just think, that Missouri hair salon, those workers who had a mask on saved so many lives because they had a mask on and they went to get tested because they didn't feel well, and now none of their clients are planning for going to get their hair done because they didn't have symptoms or anything. So they truly benefited from it because they were perfectly healthy and fine. In conclusion, wearing a mask can save your life. I'd like to leave you with this quote. If all Americans wore masks, we could drive this epidemic to the ground. Stated by the CDC Director, Robert Ridgefield. Thank you.